Hey guys, so do something a little different than we normally do. Not me working with resin tonight. It seemed y'all really liked the decoupage episode, so I'm going to do a little Valentine decoupage thing. I thought I had a different thing that I could decoupage, but I can't find it. I know, shocking that I can't. But I have these cute little wood things. They technically spell out snow on one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the snow on that side, but I'm going to make this a reversible block set that says love on the other side so that it's Valentine's Day. That's my plan. Day-y, you like that? So, and then we're going to decoupage some really fun, lovely flower napkins on it, and then we'll write out love on there too. So the first thing is we're going to prep our blocks. I want to get this white on the backs of them because the napkins, we want the color to really pop, and we don't want this wood to come through kind of thing. I want the white to really be on there. So I'm using Prime Time. It's a quick stick primer by Counterculture. This is just a good base white that is thick enough but also thin enough, and it dries really quick, goes on smooth. So I want to make a little more room for myself since we're working in a, smallish area. I have one of these brushes. This was a Counterculture DIY brush they did for a pop of color. It's really long, a little longer than I need, but it's a really good brush. If you hear it clank, it's just that I keep hitting it on this bookcase that's next to my workspace. Just smooth this out. Get a good coat all the way across. I don't want it to be massively thick, and I didn't want my brush strokes to just be blatant out there. We're going to do something more with the sides. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with the sides, just because this will be a combination one. So I might do like a bright red or something that's like Christmassy and Valentine-y. We'll see. Not positive yet. But that's a pretty good coat. So I'm going to set that to the side. Do the next one. And I'm just doing it out of the container for this. I'm not worried about transferring a color to it. So I'm not pouring any out. This way I don't have extra poured out. Now by doing this though, you could dry out your paint if you're taking too long. So you'll see, like, I try to move pretty quickly. I don't want a ton of paint on my brush, so that's why I kind of dry it out as I work. Everybody to their own, beat to your own drum with it, but get a nice good coat. You'll find with this, it's thick enough that if you don't get enough on, it's clear that you didn't get enough on, and it doesn't go so smooth. But when you have the right amount, it just brushes really smoothly. So I'm just making sure that I don't have any crazy like extra drips on these sides and such. I'm not overly worried about getting my fingers painted. Prime Time comes off really easy. I just painted my laptop over there. Yep. Bump my brush right on the top of the laptop. Cool. All good. It will come off. It will come off the skin, plastic. It's no worries. I just dripped a glob on my finger. So you could wear gloves if you were really concerned about getting paint on yourself, but like I said, I'm not overly worried. When you're painting wood as well, something to know, sometimes this will really try to pull that paint in. It'll try to absorb it because the wood is dry. So you might have to add another layer, or you might have to add an extra coat, or do a thicker layer than you expect just because of that. I was also going to say, like, if you have a Dollar Tree near you or a dollar store, they a lot of times have cute little wood blocks. You know, think outside the box. It doesn't have to be like a perfect square, but something fun along those lines that you could do. If I had planned a little better, I knew that I wanted to do this tutorial, but like I said, I thought I had a different wood piece. I thought I actually had letters that spelled out love that were all like connected. And maybe I do, and I just haven't come back across them. But I was gonna put them on. I also thought I had like the little, I can't even think what they're called, but like the little smarty hearts, the little chalky smarty hearts, like that say the little words on them, love and, you know, for you and be mine on them. I thought I had napkins that had that, and I couldn't find them. So maybe I'm just imagining things that I saw at one time and thought, oh, those would make cute ideas, and maybe just refrained from buying. Could be. That, or they're buried somewhere in my space. But if I'd had more time, I could have gone and probably just picked up some blocks to do from the dollar store. But it's cold here, and this woman does not like the cold. Okay? I just don't. I'm just not loving it. And so, yeah. I was like, we're already showered, and our hair is wet, and we're in comfy clothes because we're going to craft, and yeah. That is the end of that. So, I got creative in my space, and I was like, you know what? We're going to make this a duo-sided little fun thing. Okay. Now, I am going to, I know what I want, but I gotta feel around for it. Yes, here we go. I'm going to, this isn't gonna be the cleanest. This isn't exactly what I want, but we're close. This isn't the cleanest, but it's gonna work for what I want. I'm just going to add some regular water to it, and I'm just going to kind of rinse this. Since I don't have a sink in this space, I'll have to take it down and actually clean this brush much better. But this way, at least, I don't ruin my brush while we're still working in the space. So I'm just getting as much of that out as I can with a brush. I really don't want to leave it in that water, per se. But I also don't want to leave it, you know, fully immersed in paint too. So I'm just taking a paper towel and wiping it on there. Like I said, I'll take it downstairs and get it really cleaned up after we're done. So we'll just have to be careful not to spill that. All right. Next step is, this is the S. Let's see, it goes like this. So I just want it to be where I can flip it. So I want to go the right direction. Next step though is to make sure we get our napkins prepped. So I'm going to move this actually out of the way. So if you're going to decoupage with napkins, you can use any paper napkin. The thing is that paper napkins have multi-ply, so they're usually 2 or 3 ply. It's a little bit tricky, but you want to separate them. So you want to find where the color ply is and get the white plies off. Now I don't have nails really because I've been really bad about biting them down lately. So it's a little bit challenging to do this, but once you get it started, it's pretty easy. The biggest thing is you want to go slow enough that it doesn't rip your colorful napkin. And you'll find that usually kind of in the center, they're not as like connected, but towards the edge there's a texture that connects the plies together, and that's where it can get a little tricky. Now you could use this to help give you a white texture on something if you wanted, with decoupaging. So I typically don't throw the white pieces away. I keep them just to do with other projects. So these appear to definitely be just a 2-ply, which is nice because it came off in one swoop. And that one, I found a corner that was pretty loose, and voila. I am going to show you a technique. I don't have packing tape near me, but I have my resin tape. So I'm going to show you this technique with it, just so that you have this type of technique. So let's just take, this would work great with a little bit of Scotch tape. That's what this would ideally be. The technique I would use for doing this. But basically, you can put a piece of your tape on one side of the ply, and then not right next to each other because you don't want your tape to get caught to each other, but then connect it to the other side, and usually that will help you lift it up and off. Now, one thing I didn't look at was where I placed it on the color side, because you're probably going to lose that bit of the napkin. See, good thing is mine was at the edge where there's writing, so I'm not going to use that anyway. But that is the disadvantage of using the tape technique. But it's nice. Now I am getting probably more napkin space than I actually need, but I always like to have it all prepped so that it's just done and ready. Now this is a little bit different shaped napkin. It also looks to be like a 2-ply. This one's a little bit, got a little bit more on it the way it is, the way it folds. I went on a big napkin spree at one point, so I have tons of napkins, like an excessive amount of napkins. I need to just start pulling like a few of them and saving them, and then use the others because they take up a lot of space and they're not easily to organize. Now, I kind of want this to be cut in half so that it's a little bit more workable. Really, really simple to do this. And I'm going to show you the technique that is just phenomenal and so simple. So I'm just getting a paintbrush. This is just kind of a skinnier type paintbrush, you know, nothing too crazy. I'm just going to take a little spray bottle off to the side and spray the tip of this with some water. Nothing crazy other than I have got to get another spray bottle on this craft space. This always loves to break. Nothing too crazy, but then we just gently wipe it across our napkin where we kind of want to cut it. Now this one has like plenty of white in here, so I'm not really worried about tearing that, but I wanted to show you this technique because if we were trying to go around a flower, which we will here in a little bit, probably kind of do some just right around a certain flower or something, then we could use this to really help us get maybe just this flower or just this area, and you would take it with the water and you'd get right, you would go gently around it, and then you're able to just gently tear it. The other nice thing is when you tear, then you're not getting a crisp line, which could become noticeable when we Mod Podge and we decoupage on. So, you know, it's kind of nice to have it blend a little bit better, which is why the tearing part is phenomenal. So if I'm going to be doing a lot of that, I would put a little bit of water in like a cup like this. We could even use this that's got the paint in it. It's not going to hurt anything. That's just kind of what we would do. I realize we need to get our Mod Podge on these so that it can dry. These are pretty dry. They're they're not maybe 100%, they're not perfect, but I'm not really worried about that. I want to get the Mod Podge on, and then we'll hit them with a little bit of heat, so that's fine. I am using my gloss Mod Podge because this is the container that I have open, and rather than open a new container, let's use what we got open. I am going to use a brush that I've used for Mod Podge a lot. It's raggedy, it's old, it's been used. It doesn't really brush anymore very well, but it's perfect for Mod Podge. So, and I'm not ruining a new brush. I never use a brand new brush unless it's a foam brush for Mod Podge because, let's be real, it's gonna get, as my kids say, musty, dusty, and gross. So, basically, my goal is to get the Mod Podge on here. We are going to do what we call a dry Mod Podging, or a heat version, just like we did on my last one, because the napkin is so thin. We really want to not have so many lines, and we want our Mod Podge to be really dry, because as you saw, when we add water to that napkin, it's going to tear very easily. So if we put it on the wet Mod Podge, the likelihood that that is going to tear on us in a spot maybe we don't want it to is going to be higher. Now, I've done it where I've put it on with it wet. It works. You just got to be very careful. I think that this is an easier, and especially where we have a flat surface, it's a better way for us to do this. See, I got this all in Mod Podge. I'm not really worried about this brush. I'll probably wash it and still use it again. Just because it's covered. I mean, the handle is even gross feeling, just because it's been dipped in this big old container of Mod Podge. Now, because this is going under, I got way too much, so I'm going to scrape a little bit of this on back into my thing. Since this is going under something, you don't really need to be worried about whether you're using matte or gloss Mod Podge. It's your top coat that you really need to be concerned about. If you do a sealing coat of Mod Podge, you'll want to make sure that you choose the finish that you want. So whether that's matte finishing or glossy finishing, that's what you would want to then determine. So for underneath here, it really wouldn't matter. I love a gloss. I love a shine. So that's why my gloss is open, and it's the one I most frequently use. This container, by the way, 16 fluid ounce, has lasted me a million years, it feels like. So it is getting to the bottom in here, which is why my brush is getting all funky when I dip in there, and I went too crazy and now I didn't get enough, but that is just how it is. It will last forever. You notice that I have the baggie. I put the baggie around it and seal my lid over top and around the baggie. You can use some plastic wrap, and that's what I've used in the past, but I didn't have plastic wrap handy one day, and I had this baggie, and so I started using the baggie. Sometimes it just varies whatever you have, but something just to help give you a good seal when you put your lid on. That will allow that Mod Podge just to last a smidge longer for you, because Mod Podge is a glue and it can dry out just like any glue. The top of my lid, or top of my bottle here, is pretty gross, meaning there's like a lot of gunk. The part of the seal that was still here is here. There's some of the plastic wrap still around here. It's just the way it is, but there's still good quality Mod Podge in here. So yeah, Mod Podge does have kind of a, I don't know what kind of smell I'd call it, a little gluey smell. It's a little, might be a little strong for some people. Working with resin though, it, like especially like UV resin and stuff, it's not any worse than that for me. But Obviously, if it's something that bothers you, I would definitely just wear a, you know, mask for yourself and so forth. Put your air purifier on, whatever makes it a little bit better for you. But it's just a little bit stronger version of school glue. It's definitely a different, you can make your own Mod Podge, by the way. If you wanted to make it at home, you can use school glue and like water. I think there's all kinds of recipes out there for it. I've seen and learned a lot that, you know, those tend to yellow more. This formula that the actual brand has is better because they have a formula. So I tend to use Mod Podge, especially because it really isn't that expensive. And like I said, it lasts forever. So this really needs to be replaced, but it's still serving its purpose. So I'm just gonna shove a good portion of it, the part that's like ripping, kind of back in there, and then try to use the part that's not ripped to seal with my lid. Again, it's not a perfect science here, but it does allow you to get a better seal than you would if you're just putting the lid on. The problem with Mod Podge bottle such as this is that Mod Podge gets all gunked up around the top of your bottle, and then it makes it hard for your lid to turn on and then seal properly. So that plastic baggie just helps give that seal. We'll probably need that again before we're done with this project because we're going to seal these. But again, it's not at this moment and I'm not overly stressed about it. So I'm going to use another one of these cups. Again, they're not clean. Like, this isn't a very clean cup, but again, I'm not really worried about that part. I'm just trying to keep my brush somewhat pliable. This brush I'm not worried about, so I'm going to probably just let it sit here in that solution until we use it again. You'll notice I got some Mod Podge on the silicone mat. Once that dries, it'll peel right off. It's not a big deal. Okay, so we want to make sure that these are nice and dry. So we're going to pull out our little heat gun and plug it in for ourselves here. And just do a light heat on the Mod Podge just to kind of, we don't want you to dry up. I don't want you to be overly sticky because we are going to, and this heat is a dry heat with blowing the air on it. When we actually seal the napkin, we'll use a mini heat press. Oh yeah, that's like perfect. If it's a smidge tacky, that's fine. You just want to know that it's a smidge tacky so that if you lay your napkin down, you know that it could get stuck, and if it's not exactly where you want it, it's going to be sticking down. So, yeah. I was maybe going to paint these pink at the bottom. I just realized. But some of these flowers aren't going to probably cover the whole thing, but I have a plan. I now have a plan, I should say. I didn't really think all the way through. But, you know, just roll with it. That's part of crafting. That's part of the fun. I really should probably use a silicone. I'm just thinking, yeah, these silicone brushes would probably be perfect for Mod Podge. Yeah. Style, I have like this rounded style. It's gonna be really good because then you're not. I also have this triangle version. You're not dealing with the bristles of the brush, which might be something we do. Okay. So let me get this doodad out of our way. plug him, because we don't need him probably again. But we are going to want our, this is the S again, so I was just making sure this is the one we want to start with. I had a little gloop there, so let's wipe that off. A little glob. I am getting our Cricut Mini Press because this baby is wonderful. A great $40 investment. Just so you know, if you're wondering. I think that's about what they run right now. Okay, so I'm going to turn her on. I always go 3 on it. I don't think it's like the end of the world. Okay, so now we get to decide what part of the flowers. I'm just heating that up. It doesn't take long, but I am going to just get it all the way heated up. So I'm looking, and I do like how this looks, but I want to get some flowers probably underneath that. So where'd our itty bitty brush go so that I can show you? We're going to move that just right there. Move our little brush over. Get some water on it. And I'm going to basically just try to go, note that the napkin is going to absorb some of that water, so you don't want to go right on the line that you're wanting, but I'm going really close. And if my brush runs out before I get what I need, I can always add more water to it. But for now, let's start up here. The other good thing about doing the way that we're gonna do this one is that yeah, we're getting too dry. This edging that has a pattern on it should get pretty ironed out with the heat press. Now I am working really close to my heat press as it's heating up, so I am going to be conscious of that so that I don't accidentally burn myself, because I don't have a great spot to like do it. Thing you gotta be careful is like my fingers are wet now, and so like I just made that and it tried to split way before I wanted it to. Now I don't want this line that's here at the bottom, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use water. Now you could use a pair of scissors, but again, you're not going to get that, you'll end up with a straight line. You're not going to end up with the ripped line in edging, which gives you that nice blending ability. Now, I want to get one of these big flowers to put kind of up in this corner. So I'm going to take this one out and do it. So I'm just going to do that part and peel it. See how it's just nice and gentle. Not a lot of pressure is needed. Like I said though, it's a little bit, that's where dipping your brush into a little bit of water is almost better. I'm like using my fingers to block the water from spraying everywhere and actually get on my brush, and then that's making my fingers wet, so not probably the super best. I gotta be careful right here. Okay, so oh, my fingers are all wet. So when we're doing this as the heated dry version, basically we can kind of mock where we want the pieces to go, which is nice. I was like, where did that other piece go? Oh my goodness gracious. So we can kind of determine, okay, how do I want this? You know, maybe there at first where I thought it needed to be, I didn't really like it how it was there. So then I'm like, okay, do I turn it? And maybe I need one more little something here, you know, to fill in that area. So, okay, let's grab one of these green flowers over here. corner. Hope y'all can see this. If not, you understand what I'm doing to get to it. Now, I don't want that corner to be blatant, but I'm thinking if I can do this right, that flower looks as though it's peeking up through, then this flower. Yep. Okay. So you are going to want some parchment paper or like some Teflon paper. The S on the bottom is making this a little bit tricky just because it is going to be making our square not even on the bottom. So I'm just running the heat over the entire square. As you can see, that sealed that down beautifully. I am going to hit this edge a little bit more and right in here a little bit more because we do have that textured part. I want that to flatten out just a little more. So just a little more heat. Again, I am being conscious that this is super, super hot, like really hot. Okay, that's the nice thing about the Cricut Mini Press is it gets very, very hot, very, very fast. But you gotta be careful. And where there wasn't a napkin sitting, the Mod Podge stuck to our Teflon sheet. So that's what it's supposed to do. But that's what it did. Look how stunning that looks. I love that. Now we are going to do some adding to this that I think is going to make all of this pop really well. But I want to get the others in place before we do that, because I want to take this out of my space and not have me being concerned. We will clean up the edges too, so don't worry about that. That's going to get cleaned up. Let's see, we want our in. Where's our in? Nope, third time's the charm. In like that, so like this. So I don't want them all to look the same. You know, we want them to have some variety, which is why I grabbed a few different pieces of the napkin, because I didn't want to end up, you know, I don't want to do that same exact pattern on all of them. Now, if another one gets a similar pattern, okay, but I don't want the exact. So I think for this one, we're going to mix it up. We're going to do, I am going to trim this right in here. That way we can put probably like a small blue or the green, some sort of flower right there. Okay. Move that out of my way. This is where my space is a smidge smaller, but it's okay. So I'm going to just take it off the top and take it down the middle. It kind of worked because I want to take this funky bottom off. I'm going to take that off. Nope, I didn't get it wet enough, I don't think. Sometimes when you're on that part that's like patterned, you need a little bit more water just to get through it. But there we go. Well, we set it in a wet spot, so I'm going to need to be conscious of that. That's fine. Now, you could put layer by layer. Problem is where the Mod Podge is that you don't have a napkin, it's going to start getting really tacky, and it's gonna get on your Teflon or your wax paper. So that's why I really want to get my design on all at once. That way I'm limiting what areas end up getting tacky. Okay, let's see. Well, I like this blue one down here. I think I'm gonna try to snag it. Hardest part with some napkins is, like, you know, you're not going to get a perfectly shaped flower maybe. You might end up with some extra pieces. So that's why I grabbed several of the tulip napkin, because I wasn't sure how many I was going to really need. This other one I thought was big enough that I'd be okay, which I think we will be. But, okay, let's move that. So I really want this guy to be up top here, okay? And I might end up adding some of the green just in here, just to make it look like we have more stem happening. And then I'll probably add, what we're going to end up doing is adding to it, so it's ultimately going to be okay. Actually, let's take that out for now. Let's get our blue flower however we want it to be. I'm trying to keep y'all in frame too. I really don't want this hard edge. If you have the edge of your napkin, it's a good idea just to go ahead and get it torn up too. Otherwise you will end up with that hard edge, and I just really didn't want to have that. It's like, we don't need that hard of an edge. So I think like that is how I'm gonna kind of do this one. And when I put my Teflon sheet on, I'm trying to make sure that I don't move those from their area. So I'm like straight on top, hold it down, watch my fingers, come around. Again, I'm on a letter. The N is a little bit sturdier than the S was, so that's good. Your Teflon sheet is going to be hot, just as an FYI. It was really warm there, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I might have got too hot on this corner that has Mod Podge. Let's, oh, we didn't get this guy stuck, because for whatever reason, he didn't stick. So we might have to go back in. We got a few wrinkles, but overall, I really like it. It came out really good. And we have to remember that we're going to put a letter over this. This one's going to be O. So it's going to get a letter on it. So this is going to be kind of the background base. So it doesn't have to be perfect because of that. You know, you're going to put an O over this, paint it over this. This is just going to be peeking through, essentially. I really like it though, y'all. Looks cute. I'm going to go ahead and just take this little flappy off of there. Okay. Here is our snowflake for the other side. So this will be our V for love. Because we just love, 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 love. Okay, so I think for this one, I am going to do like this. I may not make it to where they turn perfectly. We may just have to rearrange them. Just the way I did the patterns, I might end up rearranging how I do the letters. We'll see. I think I really like this. I kind of wish that I could put a tulip in here, but I don't quite know if I could and where I could. It would have to be like peeking here or peeking there, or I could take out the green one and put a tulip up there, which might be really cute, but I do like that green one in there too, so I don't hate the green in it. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to, I'm not even gonna use water to get this one because of the way it's positioned. I'm just gonna gently tear what I need. But I'm gonna basically That's what I want more of. I'm going to try to take out some of this white, because that will kind of show. Okay. Yep. Let's see if I can do this. This Teflon sheet is way too big, and I just dropped it. And up high. Oh, yeah. Okay. Go, go. Gadget. Fingers. Got it. But what I was saying is this Teflon sheet that I'm using is a smidge too big. I should have grabbed some wax paper. It's all good. We're making it work. Okay. As you notice, I don't go too fast so that I don't move my napkin around, but I actually get it pressed where I want it to. Okay. Oh yeah, our edge. I can already see that, yeah, my edge is sticking, but I need to get in the center here. We've got some wrinkling happening. Just as I pulled that up, I could see it. So, let's, oh yeah, perfect. I forgot that I didn't even tear that off. That's okay. We'll get it off here. Un momento. Alright. So, with this one, it's pretty easy because what's stuck is stuck. What's stuck is stuck there. We can just kind of do that and it's going to come right off of where we want it to. I really like that. I just think it's so simple, yet so stunning. Not that I don't like these ones. It's just, there's something simplistic about that. Okay. Let's move those there. And we're on to our last one, if y'all can believe it. Okay. Of course, we're not done, because we still have a lot we're going to do. But let me see how this looks. And I'm going to put tulips right over top, I think. Or down here. I'm going to just angle this. I'm going to do it while it's on here so that I kind of have a guide of where I want to cut these out. But because I want a little bit of this guy here. So I'm just going to kind of give myself that guide that I need. Okay. Then, like, how did I have it? We don't know. Right about there. Okay. Then, I want these ones. So, with this, I definitely need to get some of this white off, and I'm taking some of my tulip off. And that's just how it's rolling. I should have did the wet version. But I'm going to do it like that. And then, we need something right there. I think I want the orange one. Sorry, I have a paintbrush in my mouth, so I'm talking really funny. I want the orange one kind of there. So I'm going to try to just cut out what I need of him. It's not going to need probably this whole piece, because it's more just the orange is going to be peeking kind of through. There's a piece that I gotta get out of there. There we go. And again, I need to rough this edge up so that it's not so blatant. Okay, that tried to stick fully. Okay. Now, we ripped So I just want it to somewhat lay flat. So, okay. Let's see what we can do. Alright. Last one. Oh, W is a little wobbly. I know that center had quite a few wrinkles in it. Now, some of this doesn't have Mod Podge, it's napkin. Oh, that is hot. It's napkin on top of napkin here. So we can clean that up a little bit. And then also when we seal it, that will blend in a little bit better. Let me turn this guy off so that I don't have him heating up the area. I'm just going to set him off to the side. Okay. Pardon me while I get a drink of water. Alrighty, so yep, we can clean this up just with a little bit of water on it, and then I should be able to just kind of, nope, not do that. Nope. Okay, there we go. It just needs a little bit more. There we go. We just needed to get it wet and blend it. There we go. Okay. Now, we are going to clean these up and do some extra stuff that I want to show y'all that I'm excited about, because this is going to be cool. Now, I'm going to take just a small Dremel, and I'm going to see if this will work. I'm just going to go around the edge. You could take like a sanding block and do it really quick. But I don't have a sanding block right by me. But I have my little Dremel. My nail file Dremel. You can take a little nail file even. You just want to get right on that corner edge just to kind of peel off the extra napkin. As you can see. It doesn't take a ton of work just to clean up those edges. Now, we'll seal them too, so it's not going to be like the end of the world if we don't get every little piece off, but, and look at that. Like, it wasn't coming, but when I took my finger and just pulled it, then it came. Because remember, it should be sealed on the front part. So we're not peeling it off the front, we're just peeling off of our edge. That one doesn't have much. By the way, this is probably going to be a little bit longer episode than I normally do, but I want to get it all in for y'all because this will be the last tutorial before Valentine's Day. Kind of crazy. Seen about that earlier. I was like, goodness. 2026 is already flying by on us. Okay. Yay! Oh. I was like, it kind of feels like I only did 3 of them. Well, that's because I had only done 3. Now this has a lot on it, so I'm just gonna, pull down on the napkin essentially to rip it off. I'm getting a lot of just random pieces. I'm just gonna have to garbage and move on from it, but that's okay. Alright. Now this one doesn't have the connection just yet, but it'll be okay. We'll get it connected. We got a piece of the wood there that was all rough, but we got it. We got some napkins stuck around this. It's so satisfying when it just like peels off. It's like, oh. Oh, probably dying. Battery dying. It just tell me now. Yay! Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, gross. Look at this one. It's all gross. That one's gonna get tossed. That one is done. Not the device, just this part. I'll just take that off and throw it away. Alright. Put that with my paintbrushes. I'm saying that because when I can't find it on my next time I need that, I can always come back to this video and go, where did I put it? I had it in that video. What did I do with it? I put it in with my paintbrushes because it just seemed like it fit right there. Okay. I'm just going to make sure. Yep, we're still recording. I just wanted to make sure. Didn't have a technical thing. Oh, I just love these. Now, I want to take them just a little step further, okay? And I want to add just a smidge of coloring to them that just gives them a 3-dimension look, okay? So these are acrylic paint pens, acrylic markers, kind of like paint pens. And I'm just going to give some coloring. As you can see, this one's not even that much, but it's going to give it just a little bit of coloring and extra definition. And the napkin is absorbing that, which is fantastic. That's what I want it to do. So I went around the entire edge of this one, and then I'm also accenting some of the lines in the coloring, and I'm just adding a little bit of shading features, nothing, you know, too crazy, but just giving it some definition. Now I wanted to keep within the yellow on that one because it definitely is a yellow one. That might be a little too orange for that. This one. Oh, it's a little neon. These have both a fine point and a brush end. The fine point works the best for me. I feel like I have the most control. Although brushing would give some different features if you wanted. Now I'm adding orange to this white piece right here so that when it's on this tulip that we really get the orange. Now I'm going to probably add a different color orange because this is a little light for that, but just to give it a smidge, let's go just a hint darker. So this is the brush version that I'm using now, just to give that a little bit more color of the orange. I got my brush all gooped. Okay, I just used my fingers, got it off. It was like a piece of napkin got stuck on it. I'm gonna try the brush. Ooh. Ooh, 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 y'all. I love this pink that I chose to go on this flower. I just think that that pink is so gorgeous and that it just really highlights it well. And where the edge is here, I'm just kind of blending it into that tulip below it. Just, like I said, it's going to get sealed, but this gives, the difference in the pink. That's really interesting. Like, I don't, is that going to darken up? I don't know. That's weird. I'm just going to add a little bit technique or A little bit of the coloring down here. Oh, it was like really dark up there. Weird. I don't know. I'm gonna also add this to the center. I just think this center is really close to this color. And I think that will just give it a little bit more definition as well. So I have a little blue. I don't know if I have that light of a blue. It's kind of a gray blue. Let's see. You don't have to be like a painter or a true, like, I'm not a good freehand painter by any means, but doing something like this where you're just adding some accent to something that's already there is really easy and simple, and it goes a long way on making the piece come together and just full on pop. So I highly suggest get out of your comfort zone just a smidge and really try it, because you might be surprised at how good you are at it and you didn't even know it, kind of thing. Now this pink maybe wasn't the best pink to choose, but we're doing it. We'll even add a little to the leaves and everything, just because we want the leaves to have color too. I'm going to do this one in a little bit different pink. I'm not full on in love with that one, but that's okay. We don't have to be. This one might be a little too light, but you know, we go too dark, too light, it just, obey what obey. Obey what obey. There we go. That helped. I'm gonna just even lighten that up just a smidge by going over it with the lighter. It's just a little bright for what we got going. See? Just little things. Definitely not a painter here by any means. Somebody has been in my markers, because I'm pretty certain that doesn't go on here. Yeah. Luckily I realized it's the green. It's definitely a brighter green than what I had here. So I basically just took that stem where I already knew it was and just bring it on down, you know? That is the advantage of the brush side, is that the brush is a nice little touch. Somebody was totally using both these colors, because look at that. I have my suspicions. I know which daughter does that. But at the same time, can't be too awful mad with her. As much as I kind of want to be. Well, this might be too light. I can't get the right green, y'all. Thought that would. I might have to go back over with the darker. Actually, you know what I might do? I'm gonna just paint over these greens. That's all good. I got a plan, y'all. Don't stress. Don't stress. That's kind of what I wanted to do. Yup. Yup, yup. So, I swear this is, yeah, the darker one. Maybe it's the other side that sometimes the way the ink comes out or the paint comes out. Yeah, this is much darker. If you're watching this and you're like, no, don't do that. Oh, it looked better the other way. Oh no, I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying. There. That's what I kind of want. Okay. Don't do more. Less is more. Less is more, but I'm loving that. The only thing I'm wondering if this yellow would give us. Not really. Not exactly what I had envisioned. Oh, this is more like what I had envisioned. Okay. And if you notice, like, I'm not making perfectly straight lines. Even when I'm going over the color that I already did, like, it's okay if it has some shadowing effect. It's fine. Okay. Don't touch. Less is more. Less is more, y'all. Oh, I got an itch. Okay. These are going to be a little bit interesting. I love this shimmery pink, and I really want to use it. So I'm going to border this one with it. Now, I'm using the brush side there, where I want it to be definitely lighter. And I'm doing just a thin outline. You know, just not, I don't want to go too crazy, but I want it to have some definition. I just think that this one is so pretty. You have a shimmer. It's almost red looking. See? Gorgeous! I don't know if it is a good one for this, or if I want to do a lighter on this one. Which I might want to. I might end up adding a lighter. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and do this one too. Why not? I don't love that I have that going, so I might have to do something there. But we'll see. We'll see what we decide. Right? Right. Righty, righty. Righty, righty. I don't think I have a white. Because what would be nice is if I could just kind of like whiten that out. But no. I don't love that there, but I don't know how to take it off. Huh. Ha ha. I'm gonna think on it. I was like, I could kind of add a flower, but I don't know if I could get it to look like a flower just because it's such an abrupt line. And I kind of saw it when I did it, but then I was like, oh, it's fine. But the more I look at it, the more I'm like, it's not fine. Sorry, it got really quiet because I'm concentrating. Super focused in. I think it looks funny though. It's like, why is that flower there? Like it doesn't fit with the others. Okay. I think that is... It's just part of it. It's growing on me, but it's taking a little bit to grow on me. Okay. All right. Sorry, I had to focus on that. Just trying to give it some features. Okay, I think it has a little bit more character now. You know, it's not perfect, but it's got some character. I'm gonna try this like kind of shimmery blue on this blue one. I know it's very bright, but I just think this blue is so pretty, and since I have such a bright orange, why not give a bright blue one? We definitely got some patches that we're gonna have to seal up. There we go. Now, let's find our... Realized I don't need it to go all the way to the center. I don't know. Did I just ruin it? Did I ruin it with that? I hope this is helping. It's making me like it better. Okay. Yeah. Muted it a little bit. That seems better. Okay, let's get our yellow tulip. I'm actually liking the brush side, which is funny because I was like, oh, I don't really use the brush side. That's what I get for saying it out loud. Is that I just proved myself wrong. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really use it, but oh, I'm really enjoying it. It's because it gives you just a little different look to it, is what I would say. It's just not quite the right green I want. This is maybe a little bit more. Not what I want. This is very, very bright. Does not look muted like the it looked more muted. It was a very bright green there. Okay. We're just gonna keep layering till we get the color we kind of want. And we're gonna bring this kind of on to over here. So we'll just kind of add some greens. And get this more to the coloring that we want it to be. Probably should have done this color first. That's okay. Here where I do that. First, I got this one. I know it looks awful right now. Don't stress. We're gonna fix it. Don't stress, don't worry, just be happy. Da, 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 da. I do like these markers because there are lots of options of colors. Some of them are a little funky in coloring and aren't quite what we want, so we're just having to do some creativeness, right? I'm just going the same direction that I had the other lines, and then it's blending it a lot better. Just kind of giving us a more muted, blended look. That's blending those out a little bit. And I'm muting them, making them not so abruptly bright, but also giving us the color. There we go. I like that. Okay. 2 done. 2 to go. Y'all are like, are we ever gonna be done? Nope. Just kidding. Just kidding. Let's do the brush side. These ones definitely have more. They have more green, and I just don't know what to do about that green. I mean, what I just did kind of worked, but I don't love it. It's not like my fave. I'm not like, oh, that's the way to go. I was hoping for something a little bit more like defined of like, that is the green that we're gonna use, but no, not a happening. So I don't know what we're gonna do about that, because we got a lot of green on this one. Oh, I probably shouldn't have gone up there, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm really liking the added touches though to them. Definitely recommend giving your flowers just a little extra something along the way. I'm extending this one, so that's why I'm trying to do a little bit more blending, just because I extended it. So I want it to look more unnatural to this. Okay. Yep. Alright, yellows. Let's do those. Let's do them yellows. Not much down here. Just a little here. You know, just... Yeah, I like that. Okay, I think we're done with yellows because my other one doesn't have yellows. I want one of my greens. And it's probably a green I want too. Just trying to see if there's a better green. This one actually might be good for our green flower. It's a little bright, but that's okay. It's a bright green flower. And we're just adding the little, you know, pollinators in the center, just to help it blend there a little bit more. Okay. I'm gonna, that's a little lighter than I wanted, but okay. We're doing it. We's doing it. I do like this center much better now that I've done that. I might go over it one more time with that green. I don't know. I don't know though. I kind of like that look. I think it gives it a little bit better. Okay. Why can't I get a green? I like you. Okay, we gotta go with this darker green first. I'm just gonna put a couple little stripes in here. Turn it down. Once we get there. Okay. That's not the end I want. Let's go this end. This is really doing what I want it to. It's almost like the tip of this one is kind of messed up. So the paint isn't making it to the tip. It's stopping. I do like this combo though, if I can get it to work. And I keep pressing this and can't get it to. Okay, I do like the color that I've been able to make these. It's definitely not been easy by any means, but I do like them. Okay, cool. Now, I want to do this one, and I want to do that pink that I really like on it this time. And I know that we are super late, so I probably am going to just have to split this into two, but try to give you the second half. Maybe even on Valentine's Day or that Wednesday before, just because Crafty back here is getting a little tired, not gonna lie. And we've been at it over an hour, which is why. But I am loving these. So let's finish this fourth one, just so that it's done. But like I said, I am feeling kind of worn out. It's been a long, busy week already, and so adding that in, I was like, I kind of had to make myself go. You need the break. Go to your craft space. It's fine. Just go dive in. But I can feel myself fading, and I want to give you guys more of my full awareness and not just half doing. I'm going to try this other side to bring this color in. I think this is the color I was using. Yeah. But of course it's not being as light. It's being the darker color. Yeah. See, now it's giving us darker color. Okay. Well, I can see the paint. I almost want to cut that into the brush, but I'm a little bit nervous to do that, just because I've never done that and I don't know what will happen. might be fine. I'm getting out the lines a little bit on these leaves and stems, but I'm going to call it more of like a muted watercoloring somewhat, so I'm not going to stress about it. Plus, if somebody's looking that closely after we do this top layer of our letter on it, then they can, you know, they can make their own. I was really gonna not be so nice for a minute. Yeah. Yep, if they want to be looking at it that close, they can definitely, and if they're gonna critique it, they don't need to be the recipient of your art and or in your home, because they don't support you. All right, we're gonna try this, y'all. I am over this tip, so we just cut the end of that right on off. It's not got as much of a brushy feel. I just need that to come out just a little bit more. I just like that lightness. Okay, I think it's good enough. Cutting it didn't super help, but it helped a little. This one is a little bit more the coloring, but I'll probably add a little green to it because this is pretty bright. I just want to add a little to these. I don't know why. I just got this like a random splurge to do that. I was like, oh, I didn't even finish this little petal because I was like, ooh, ADHD coming out, y'all. I'm getting tired. We're gonna go crazy. That's kind of funny. We've had so much snow here too, and I'm just like, oh, I do not like the cold, the snow. It took me an hour and a half to get home yesterday when I literally worked 15 minutes from house, just because the weather was so funky and people couldn't drive in it, and there were so many people off the road. It was just like, oh. I got home and I was like, oh, I'm home. I am home. My husband was out in the driveway clearing snow, and I could tell he kind of wanted to converse and like, oh, you're home. I mean, I had called him. He knew I was stuck in some nastiness, but he kind of wanted to converse, and I was like, I have got to go potty. Like, I have got to pee. I've been in the car for the last hour and a half. I'm tired. I just wanted to come home after work in the snow. It falls too fast and people can't drive. So I had to apologize to him later when he came in. I was like, I'm sorry, I was short. I really had to pee. Okay? Like, a woman had to pay. You know, it's like one of those times you don't go before you leave work because you're like, I will be home in 15 minutes. And I really didn't have to go when I left work. Well, little did I know. Okay, I like that. Let's add a little bit to our blue ones. Our bluesies. Just a smidge, not anything quite crazy. Just to give them a little something. This one I might end up just coloring the petals in totality. I like this blue. It's like a gray blue, but just enough blue to it to not be overdoing. I like it. Look at that. It does just give it a more finished feel, is how I look at it. It just gives it that look of like, there's dimension, there's just a lot more finished look. We could have not done that and it would have been fine. But I think giving them that accent and dimension is just going to bring this level up a notch on it. So I am excited. Okay, so we have that one. We have this one. And what we'll do next time is we will determine which ones will have what letters. I probably want these two not next to each other, and the same thing with these two, just to give it kind of a different virtual look. I just want to make sure they're in frame for you. This cup is in the way. And that has our Mod Podge gross water. So, you know, because these two have like the orange in them, they have more of the tulips, less of like the daisy type flowers, and vice versa. These have more of the daisy type flowers and less of the tulips. Like we only have one little tulip down here, a couple small ones in this one. So with that, I do want to just give it I want to split them up a little. So it's not going to work out that they get where they just turn around. I think what's going to happen is this is going to be L. I'm liking that for the first one. And I feel like I might change my mind. But I feel like I want this one for O, this one for V, and this one for E. Granted, I'm not going to display them like this stacked. You could, and if I did that, I would maybe switch up my order a little bit. Maybe not. I mean, it's kind of cute. But I'm going to probably display them more, you know, LOV, like elongated. So this would be, I don't know if y'all can see that because, oh yeah. Let me just move this guy out of the way. He is still hot. So just be aware of that. Let's move that up for y'all to see. Okay. Yeah. So you can see how that kind of looks, right? I'll hold this one. There's too much stuff over here. Okay. So that's how I would probably do it. L-O-V-E. Actually, I think I want to switch that to be my E and that to be my O. I don't know if I like the yellow right next to each other like that. Nope, I'm changing my mind. I want to go back. Okay, that's my last decision tonight. L-O-V-E. That's how I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to display them where they're right next to each other. Like, you could have done this to where you had it, like, blend and mesh all together. That would have been kind of cool. Not going to lie. Kind of would have liked that. But, what I will do is I will have this to where there's, like, a space in between them. So it's not so obvious. You know. That's why there's a disconnect in the flowers. I really like these, though. They've come out super cute. So probably next episode, just so y'all know, we're going to need to seal these with some Mod Podge just because we've got some floppy ends, which is to be expected because there's a napkin underneath there. Oh, look how cute that is and cool. Ooh, that kind of goes me another. So we need to seal these, and then we're going to paint on our love and potentially seal them again, and then do something with our edges too, so that we have a fun, cutesy love thing. So, alright y'all, before I ramble on, because I'm just tired and rambling, I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you back very soon to finish these up. See you later. Bye.